Hi, Adam. It's Fraser from AAP. Commiserations on the loss. You guys were, you were there throughout the contest, but then it kind of got away from you at the end. What impressed you the most tonight, and where do you think you need to improve, especially in that fourth quarter?
The crowd actually really impressed us. The fact that we played the way we did at the close of that game and no one left. I think, again, it was, the atmosphere in Cairns and the support we have, the performance that we delivered in that last stretch, and no one left, because I would have left. So that impressed me the most. The break hasn't been good for us. And, there's some things that we need to address, performance-based, mentally. The break hasn't been good, and we have regressed. And it's disappointing now that, things will start to creep in after you lose. Everyone's enjoying themselves when you win a few. You test the character, right, and the foundation we're trying to build. This is where you see what your worth is now when you've lost again at home. So it's going to be an interesting week.
Is it hard to pinpoint those, though, considering it's only your sixth game of the season? You mentioned the break, but you haven't had that many games out there to, fully understand where your ball club's at? No,
it's definitely not hard to pinpoint. I know exactly where it is. We hit it between the eyes a little bit when we came back after dropping that one in Southeast. And there's a few other things we need to address. So, no, I know exactly where it is.
Brian said that, it's any game in North Queensland's a tough one to win. And when you get your pieces back, he fears for the Cairns Taipans might be towards the back half of the season. Do you agree with that? Do you think, bringing Scotty back would be a bit more threatening out there? Or how do you feel about that?
No, and I appreciate Gorge for saying that. Well, what happens when we get everybody back and we're losing then? And this is, it's nothing to do with the personnel, because we're not a team of plumbers and electricians where we got guys that have played at the elite level their entire life, So, again, I appreciate Gorge for such the kind words, but, we need to know what it takes to win now. And, the things that we need to address isn't anything to do with who's in or out. And once we nip that in the bud, or once we put all our cards on the table, because you can sit here and say, oh, wait till Quat's back, and wait till Merck's back, wait till Jordan, when he was out injured, wait till Jordan's back, wait till Scott's back. What happens then when you're losing? What's your excuse then? No.
Last one from me, Adam. Can you just talk a bit about Keanu? I thought his energy tonight was great on the glass, and he was attacking the rim, he was attacking the boards as well. What did you make of this performance?
I know that Dunk's going to get the rounds. Everybody loves a highlight, and I need to commend Keanu for that, because, this is probably the problem with basketball today, is now people don't challenge that. People don't, because they don't want to end up on a quote-unquote poster. So that impressed me the most with Keanu, is that there's, he didn't let his image or his ego influence going for that. And, I can't be more proud for that. That, to me, is something that I'll identify for years to come. I know I've used Tom Jervis as an example in the past too, where, you're going to get more blocks than you do getting dunked on, but unfortunately it's that one that's going to get cycled through, and rightly so. It was a very impressive play by Cleveland. I'm not downgrading what he did, but again, there's a guy that put his body on the line. That's all I can ask for, and very impressed as always when he steps up, because he was someone I challenged. I didn't think he performed to his standard at Southeast, so there was someone that took that criticism on and wore it, and he still shot that three I didn't agree with, and that's the reason I subbed him out, because that was something I thought we could get a better look at, but everything else, I thought he was real good.
Or your next down? Commiserations on the result, but you must be impressed with firstly the bench pouring in 20 points tonight, and then secondly keeping the Hawks to, I've got it down as 2 fast break points, which is a pretty good defensive effort.
Before tonight, and even though it is a small sample size, one of the things that we could control was the defensive end. Melbourne is right now the best defensive team in the league. Between 1 and 2 is daylight. 2, 3, 4, it's really bunched up and it's a close contest. Before tonight, we were second. And that's saying something considering the amount of turnovers we give up, which generates fast break points, which is still one of the best possessions you can get in a game. And so, again, before tonight, we were giving up 15%, 16%, I think, in possessions in attack break because of the turnovers we gave up. But, we still did a considerably good job limiting their success rate. We gave up 94 tonight, and, we've got a lot of issues on the offensive end that we need to address. Again, I went to my bench because they were the ones, for the most part, getting it done. And I'm not saying that as a slight, but, Illawarra is a very dynamic team. They got a very mobile 4 and 5 combo with Sam and Duop out there. And, they pose some challenges for us. And so, looking to the bench, knowing we can sort of match that, level of athleticism, especially when they were getting after the on-ball screens, that I appreciated the effort that the bench gave us tonight.
Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. How far away is this team, do you think, from the standard that you want them performing at?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not saying that from a sense of self-confidence, it's not saying that from a lack of confidence with what I have in this group. I know we can get there. I'm just disappointed probably where I thought we would be at. And so this by no means putting the cue in the rack. We're 6 games into a very long season. But, we're not, if we'll chart where we were, we're not where we're supposed to be or where we should be. And so, once we sort of be real with ourselves, and we have to be real, like the guys have to be real. Like I said it before the game, I said, if you're making excuses now, then that's a real thing. We're all human, and there can be self-doubt and there can be nervousness or so forth, whatever it may be, but you got to be real with yourself. I don't appreciate I'm ready, coach, put me in if you're not. And there's things that we need to address that we can get from critical film review, where we can look to say, okay, well, you weren't ready for this instance here, or you weren't ready for this possession, or you weren't ready to start the game, or you weren't ready to come out at half time. So, what's going on? I think once we can be real, then we can actually sort of chart a map where we want to get to. But the good thing is that, we've played the less amount of teams than everybody else. So, we got a little bit of catching up to do.
And the decision to start JK, what was behind that?
Again, I don't know what it would be before tonight, but JK, we're per 100 possessions, we're 8 points better with JK on the court. So it was a two-parter. One, I got after Keanu for what he did in Southeast, and he responded well by coming off the bench. But also it's just a numbers thing where with the players we have available with us right now, the difference in 100 possessions with JK on the court compared to off the court was 8 points in the positive. So it made it a little bit tighter with the rotations off the bench, but that was the drive behind that.
Jordan, how did you feel about tonight? You got plenty of minutes out there. How did you feel, with your own performance tonight, and coming back from the injury, got a few games under your belt now?
Yeah, Foot felt fine, but again, it comes back to a team performance. I think we got to come in Monday, be ready to work. I mean, yeah, I can say I had a decent game or whatever, but at the end of the day, we lost. So I think we should have come in Monday, be ready to work, and be prepared for Brisbane.
Obviously, Taj got fouled out. What was the talk amongst the playing group out there, I guess, when that decision came through and you knew he was out? What was the discussion like between the players, at least, in terms of looking after that last 5 minutes?
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. Talking about the players.
It's next man mentality. Like, yeah, one of our brothers got fouled out, but next person's got to step up, and that's the kind of mentality we've trying to install since day one. It doesn't matter if Scotty and Merck and that are out. We trust each other to step up. Taj is a big part of our team, but we just got to move on and then think next man mentality.
My last one, Forde, what did you think of Taj's 5th foul?
I wish I get my coach's challenge. Taj was adamant, so I was like, all right, I'll back you on that coach's challenge. Even I wasn't sold, but the coach's challenge is always interesting anyway. I think you have to be really in the favour to get it, and it's a good thing. I'm not downplaying it like it's great that the coach's challenge, but I wish I didn't listen to Taj on that second foul now. I'll remember that, and I won't listen to him next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.